you been ever frustrated with the AI not generating the image the way you want? You kept telling it to do things, it didn't do it, or it didn't do them correctly? Well, you're in the right place. Hi, I'm Noectric and I'm an AI trainer, and I will tell you a simple solution how to make the AI generate exactly what you want. The solution is JSON. Now, what is JSON? JSON is just a simple way to talk to the AI in a structure instead of chaos. Think of it as giving the AI a clean checklist instead of a long, messy paragraph. You label what you want, mood, title, color palette, anything really, and the AI will understand exactly where each part will go. So if your prompt is a sentence, JSON is basically the organized version of the same idea. But instead of me just explaining you all of this, let's see it on an example. So as a League of Legends player, sadly, and a tarot card enjoyer, I was inspired by the Crystal Rose skin collection, and I decided why not take the inspiration from the aesthetic and make it into a tarot deck. So this will be the example you will be seeing, but obviously you can apply it to your own thing. So now I will guide you through this baseline that I have already written. It doesn't contain any information about the image yet. It just kind of has all the elements, so I can explain it to you in a way that you can apply it then later to your own image. Also, don't mind me looking there. The computer is there and I'm sharing the screen, and as I am explaining, I need to look at what I'm explaining. So first I have tarot card. This, in my case, will be the card's name. For example, I might decide to name it The Lovers. I don't know, that's the first thing that popped up because Crystal Rose Wedding. If you play League, you will know what I'm talking about. Whether you will have a title on your image or not, any text, this will apply to you. Yeah, you can name it text, you can name it title. I name it title because it will be the title of the card. And then secondly, I have keywords, which in my case will be a list of short words that will tie to the card's meaning. So for example, I will say intuition, new beginnings, yada yada yada. You might not even need this. You can just have text or whatever you will have. Maybe you won't even have text, so you won't need these two. And then third one is the theme, which will define the general aesthetics of this card. I made it into 3 parts, which will be the aesthetic, which will describe the overall visual style. Here I would say something like ethereal or fantasy, whatever you can think of and whatever you need for your own image. Second one will be the mood, which will be the emotional tone of the card in my case, and in your case of the image or whatever you are generating. You can describe it as serene, mysterious, radiant, just describe the mood. And then I have lighting, which will be how the scene feels visually. So for example, I might say sparkly, glowing, soft shadows. This will tell the AI the vibe and the feeling you want before any of the characters and the setting are even described. And then fourth one, we have visual design. Now this one will be the core of image generation. It basically breaks down what you see, and I made it have 3 inner sections. First one is character, and here we will define how the main figure will look like. So I have gender, optional, you might leave it blank if you want surprises. Pose, for example, standing near water, having hands raised, whatever pose you want the character to have, it will have it. And it will be described in here. And then outfit style, how will the clothing look like? For example, you might say flowy dress, flowery patterns, stuff like that. And then we have hair color, pretty self-explanatory, just hair color. And then we have expression, again, self-explanatory. It will be the facial expression of the character. You might say peaceful, smiling, angry, sad. And then we move on to the environment, which will basically describe where the card takes place. So basically think of it as the background. First we have setting, which will be the general scene. You can say near the waterfall, in the forest, in the sea, in a cottage. And then secondly, we will have details, which will be the small extra touches. For example, mist and glowing ripples and stuff like that. And then last but not least, we have composition, which will cover framing and color palette. We have framing. It will be the layout style. For example, in my case, it will be tarot card, vertical format. And then color palette. Here you will kind of just give the overall colors of the image. So in my example, I will use soft pinks, blues, silvers, because I just like those colors and I want my deck to be those colors. So now we will write the descriptions and generate the image. So you can kind of see how the AI will understand how to generate the image when you are giving the prompt in a structured way. So now, while the image generates, let's talk. I actually don't know what we should talk about. Let me know in the comments if you like any of these things, whether it's Tarot or League of Legends. I don't know. Let's have a chat about it. I'm interested if anyone is interested in both things. Now that the image is generated, let's click and see. That is very pretty. I think it's very pretty. And it is exactly what we wanted it to be. There is no ambiguity here anymore because we told it to be structured. And you can do the same with your own images. Hopefully that helped you, and I will go do more of my cards. Like I said, I will make a whole deck, and if you're interested in seeing this, I don't know, some of you might be, most of you might not be. Let me know in the comments too. And if the video helped you in any way, consider giving it a like. And if you're interested in AI content, also consider subscribing, because I am doing AI content. Anyway, I'll maybe see you in the next video or never again. Either way, enjoy your image generation with JSON.